Want to speak real French from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at FrenchPod101.com.
Hey guys, it's Pierre. Welcome back for more videos on French learning. Today's videos will be about tongue twister, in French, virelangue or fourche-langue. It's not exactly the same meaning. Like tongue twister is only sentences difficult to say in English, but in French it also means sentences difficult to understand. And also, French people don't use those words a lot. It's not common. Usually we know the concept of tongue twister, but we don't use words to define this concept. So let's get started with sentences difficult to say. I think this one is the most famous, so I'm gonna read it and I will probably do a lot of mistakes. And here there is one S missing, two S. I will probably do a lot of mistakes, but even for French people, it's hard to say those tongue twisters, so I'm gonna try. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? So I did it quite slowly, and if I try to be faster, I will have a lot of difficulties. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? Not bad. But let's try to explain the meaning of this sentence. When you say chaussette, it means like socks. Sèche, it's like dry. Archiduchesse, it's archduchess. And archi-sèche, it's like super dry. In French, when you add archi, it means like super in front of an adjective. But it's quite used in French, but not always. Like it may sound not really polite. So the meaning of this sentence is, or the archduchess socks dry or super dry. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? So here the difficulty is mainly the difference between S and sh. It's quite hard to say. But this one, because it's really famous in France, like I think French people can do that one. But maybe you, as a French learner, you have difficulties to say it. And no problem, even for French people, it's still hard. So one more time. Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? So here it's like I started to mix the two sounds. So even for me it's hard. So this one may be the most famous, definitely, in French, like the most famous tongue twister. So you can try to say it, but don't worry if you cannot do that. But as you can see, the sound S and CH is quite difficult to distinguish in sentences. So that's why here I've got three examples, like the main tongue twisters in French, or using this, the similarity between S and CH. So let's move on to the next one, which is also super famous. I think those two ones are the main tongue twisters in French. So here, I'm gonna try to say it slowly first. Un chasseur chassant, I did a mistake already, and I was slow. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. This one is much harder than this one. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Here I made again a mistake. So it's quite hard. Chasseur means hunter, and chasser, it's a verb like to hunt. So un chasseur chasse, a hunter hunts. Sachant, it's like it's the verb savoir, like know, to know. But here it's a specific form, which means who knows. So here, un chasseur sachant chasser, a hunter who knows how to hunt. So this is quite hard to say because here you've got the CH and the S, and there is this inversion. Here it's CH and S, and here S and then CH. And then the end of the sentence, doit savoir chasser sans son chien. So sans son chien, it means like without his dog. So the full sentence in English would be, a hunter who knows how to hunt should know how to hunt without his dog. So here again, chasser, savoir, there is a C here, and the CH in chien, and the S in sans, and in son. So this is quite hard. So I'm gonna say it once again, like first slow. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. You see, like Like it's quite difficult for my muscle to say that. So I'm gonna try to be faster now. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Here, like, I don't know if I did it correctly, but it's quite hard and I'm starting to confuse the S and the CH. But if you can do this one as a French learner, it's super cool because it's really hard to say. So don't worry again if you cannot do it, but it's fun to try. And the last one is also, as I said, using the ambiguity between S and CH. Suis-je chez ce cher Serge? 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 It's really hard to say. Suis-je, like it's like am I, like question, like inversion. Je, I, suis, am, I am I. Chez ce cher Serge, ce cher Serge, it's like that dear Serge, you can say that in English as well, it's like the same meaning. That stands for ce, dear stands for cher, and Serge is the name. So here, chez ce cher Serge, it means like at that dear Serge's house. So the full sentence would be, am I at that dear Serge's house? So once again in French, first slowly, suis-je chez ce cher Serge? Suis-je chez ce cher Serge? Okay, so far it's okay. But no, let's get faster. Suis-je chez ce cher Serge? 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 Like, it's really hard. Like, I made a mistake. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm doing like a confusion between the S sound and the CH sound. This one is also quite hard. So I'm gonna do one more time, one last time. Suis-je chez ce cher Serge? Suis-je chez ce cher Serge? Suis-je chez ce cher Serge? Really hard. So yeah. So here, so far we've seen 3 sentences that are using the ambiguity between S and CH. When you speak faster, it's easy to mix up all those 2 sounds. So that's why we have a lot of tongue twisters in French using this. But let's move on to some other sounds. Here, there is this one, panier, piano. It's just 2 words. There is no meaning. Like, it's not a special expression. It means, like in English, basket, piano. Like basket where you put away your stuff. Or you can also wear stuff in a basket. So here it's the same meaning. Panier, piano. Basket, piano. Basket, piano. So here, this is, as you can see, those 3 letters are the same here, but not the same order. Ani, Ian. So here, this is the main feature of this tongue twister. Panier, piano. So if you say it just slowly, it's really easy. Panier, piano. But like for a French learner, it's you first have to understand how to say those words like alone. And if you can do it, then you just say panier, piano. It's really easy. But if you say a lot of times panier, piano and really fast, you will have difficulties and you will not manage to do it. And I will not manage to do it. So I'm going to do it. Panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano. And it's really hard. Usually, nobody can really manage to do it. Like you always saying pianier, 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 you add the E here. Or here you get rid of the E and you add an E here. So you say pagno. So panier, piano, but if you say it a lot, you say pianier, pagno. Pianier, piano. Here, even for that I made a mistake. Panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, panier, panier. You see, I'm saying pagno. Like it's really hard. So if you say it, like you will finally, you will eventually make a mistake. And so this is quite short and quite simple and quite famous as well. This one is quite famous. Panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier, piano, panier. Here, really hard. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. This one is not really famous and it doesn't make any sense, like the meaning is quite weird. And this is blé, brûler, brûle les blés. So, like even for a French person, the meaning is quite obscure. Like blé stands for corn and brûler, it's the verb which means to burn. So here, blé brûlé, it means like brûler is the past form of blé, to burn. So brûler, like present, like infinitive, sorry. And here, brûler, like it's imparfait, so it's a past tense. And here, brûle les blés, here this is the subject, and here this is the verb, and brûle, it's like present, like the corns or burning. Les blés brûlent. But here there is this stylistic inversion, like there is no specific reason for that. Like this sentence you cannot use it, and it's quite weird. It's just hard to say. So blé brûlé brûle les blés, 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 blé brûlé brûle les blés. Okay, this is much easier, I think. Like first you have difficulties to say it, but when you're used to it, it's quite easy to say, I think, for a French person. Like if you're a French learner, so it may be hard, still hard. So here the difficulty is there is BL and BR, blé, brû, blé. So bl and br. I think for Asian people it would be really hard to say this. Like if your mother language if your mother tongue is, there is no differences between L and R, this is going to be really hard to say. Blé brûlé brûle les blés, blé brûlé brûle les blés, blé brûlé brûle les blés, blé brûlé brûle les blés. So this is quite easy, I think, for a French person. And here there is also blé and lait. Lait, 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 lait. Lait ici again, here again, and here again, lait. So this is also quite hard when you're not used to French to distinguish e and e. Blé brûlé. Can you hear the difference? E, 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 e. For a French person, it's super easy to hear the difference. But when you're not used to French, it's quite hard. So I'm going to show you the difference once again. E, e. Blé, brûlé. Blé, brûlé. Et, est. Once again, this is okay if you don't really understand the difference, but as you will get further in your French learning, you will have to see the difference, to hear the difference between those two sounds. So this one, like, it's not a really famous tongue twister, and it's not a really difficult one for French people, but for you, I think it's quite interesting if you want to distinguish those two sounds and those two sounds, which can be sometimes confusing for a French learner. And let's move on to another one, which is kind of funny. It's a question. Here, like what is in black is not hard to say. What is difficult to say is in red. But the full sentence, the tongue twister, is like the full sentence. So the question is, doit-on dire 16 sèches chaises ou bien 16 chaises sèches? This is really hard, even for me. Like, if I'm slow, it's okay, but if I say it faster, I will have a lot of trouble. So here, the meaning of that is like, should we say 16 dry chairs? So here again, you've got sèche. We found that sèche here. As you can see, this word is quite used in tongue twisters in French, because there is, again, S and CH. So here, this one is also kind of this category, a member of this category, but there are some other difficulties in this. So should we say 16 dry chairs or 16 chair dried? There is an answer for that in French. But first, let me tell that again. Doit-on dire 16... Doit-on dire 16 sèches chaises ou bien 16 chaises sèches? 16 sèches chaises, 16 chaises sèches. Doit-on dire 16 sèches chaises? Well, I cannot say, like faster it gets worse. Doit-on dire 16 sèches chaises ou bien 16 chaises sèches? 16 chaises sèches, 16 sèches chaises. 16 sèches chaises, it's really hard, like it's so hard for me. So here there is the Z sound and also the CH sound. Here, like se, this one, EI, E with the accent, and AI. This is the same sound in French here. Seize, sèche, chaise. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm saying the same e. So here, no difficulty. But what the difficulty lies in the letters, like the consonants. So here, S, Z, S, CH, Z. So it's really like, it's a kind of level up of like another category of this one, like an upgrade. So this is quite hard. Doit-on dire 16 sèches chaises ou bien 16 chaises sèches? So there is an answer for that. One of those two is not correct. 16 sèches chaises, 16 chaises sèches. I think like both are like you understood, and I think it's not like grammatically completely false, but one is more natural, and the one which is more natural is 16 chaises sèches. Chaises sèches. When you say like a chair which is dry, you have to say une chaise sèche, une chaise qui est sèche, une chaise sèche. The adjective is after the noun in this case. And here, like there is the inversion, like sèche chaise. You are understood, and it's not completely false. But like if you want to speak a proper French, it's better to say this one. But like, who would say this sentence, right? It's quite weird. 16 chaises sèches. And even if you want to say that, like, it's super hard. You will not manage to do it probably, because I cannot manage to say this sentence. So yeah. So far we've seen like sentences difficult to say. Like the pronunciation of those sentences are quite hard, and it's mainly due to those two sounds. But also like the Z sounds is quite hard, and when letters are quite similar but in a different order, you've got also some tongue twisters. We've got a lot of tongue twisters in French, but I think those ones are really famous, and maybe this one. And then it's more like those two are more tricky. So that's good for sentences difficult to say. But no, let's move on to what is a bit different from English, sentences difficult to understand. So those, like, there are many different kind of like virlangues in this category. First, it's sentences like, even for French people, if I say it, I will not manage to understand what the people told me. So here, the first one is like, it's not easy, it's not difficult to repeat what was said, but it's hard to understand which word was a word. Because here you say samedi, 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 which is like same sound, samedi, samedi, samedi. 3 times I'm saying samedi. But each time it's different. Samedi, like it means Sam says, Sam says. So Sam, it's a name again. Samedi, like Saturday, you say samedi, exactly the same pronunciation. And then this expression, which is kind of casual, samedi, 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 samedi. Like samedi, it's like if you say it properly, like full sentence, but sometimes you will shorten the word. So you will say samedi. And it's like in English, sounds good. Like, oh, sounds good, samedi. Like, let's go to the mall. Yeah, sounds good. Allons au supermarché, samedi. Like, supermarché, like supermarket, not mall. But anyway. So here, samedi, samedi, samedi. There's no, like, it's not really funny, and it's just like, you repeat 3 times the same sound, which is interesting, but not really hard to understand. But if you say that, like, personally, if I hear this, I will have like, what did you mean? Like, it's quite weird what you said. So this one, like, it's just to show that sometimes you've got different ways to say, like, different words can have the same pronunciation. Like, the combination of different words can have the same meaning. And here, this one is quite interesting, because when you hear that, cabulanolac, if I hear that, I'm like, you're not speaking French. Like, this does not sound French. When you hear that, cabulanolac, cabulanolac, you're like, whoa, is this real French? So if you're not like used to hear this sentence, which is kind of unusual, you would be kind of confused. So if you want to like impress your friends, or I don't know, like just say something weird in French, you can learn this one, cabulanolac. Like, can you, like, if I say cabulanolac, do you think I'm speaking French? Like, it does not sound like French. Cabulanolac, cabulanolac. And the meaning is quite simple, actually. Like, que, it's like what? Cabu, here, there is no accent. Cabulanolac, What did the donkey drink at the lake? At the lake, au lac. Donkey, âne. The donkey, l'âne. Drink, like bu, like the verb to drink, boire. And here it's like the past, so did drink, so a bu. So, qu'a bu l'âne au lac. Qu'a bu l'âne au lac. So what is funny in this sentence is like there is the lac here, and there is kind of inversion of the sound with ka, ak, ka, ak. Here, la, 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 la. So, qu'a bu l'âne au lac. So here, you've got this, and you've got also this and this. So this is kind of interesting. So we've got a lot of different kind of sentences like that. The next one is quite similar, and it's quite famous, I think. Simile-tu naisse, voles-tu naîtront. There is no real meaning in that. Like, this sentence is quite weird, but it's perfectly correct. Like, grammatically, it's correct. And there is a meaning, but this is quite weird if you hear it. Si voles-tu naisse, simile-tu naisse, voles-tu naîtront. Si voles-tu naisse, voles-tu naîtront. Simile-tu naisse, voles-tu naîtront. It's not hard to say. Once again, it's just hard to understand. Simile-tu naisse, voles-tu naîtront. So here, it means like l'es-tu, it means like lettuce. Naître, it's the verb to be born. So here it's like my lettuces. Here naisse, so it means like the present, like present form of naître. So naisse, like plural, naisse. And here like vos laitues, like your lettuces. And then naîtront, which is the future form of the verb naître, which means to be born. So here it's will be born. Naîtront, will be born. And if, like if and si. Si mes laitues naissent, vos laitues naîtront. If my lettuce are born, your lettuces will be born. If my lettuces are born, your lettuces will be born. So like, as you can see, it's not really meaningful. But here, like usually in French, you don't use the verb naître. I think it's the same in English. To be born, you don't say that for lettuce. But like you can understand the meaning if you say it. And in French, we understand. So here, what is interesting in this sentence is like there is no specific reason, like there is no peculiar reason why it's weird when you hear it. It's just weird. Like here, you've got the repetition of those two sounds. Laitue, laitunet, laitunet. And laitunet is like, whoa, like a kind of weird sound in French. Like you don't hear this combination a lot. Like that's one of my explanation, but it's really hard to understand why this sentence is weird when you understand, when you hear it. Si mes laitues naissent, vos laitues naîtront. Like I feel like the sound tron is quite weird to understand. But anyway, so I'm gonna say all those sentences once again, and then it will be the end of the lesson. So, les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches? Un chasseur chassant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Un chasseur sachant chasser doit savoir chasser sans son chien. Okay, I'm good. Suis-je c'est ce cher Serge? Suis-je c'est ce cher Serge? Suis-je c'est ce cher Serge? Not really easy. Panier piano, panier piano, panier piano, panier piano, panier piano, panier piano. Like here I made the mistake. Here, blé brûlé brûlé les blé brûlé 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 les blé, I made the mistake. Blé brûlé brûlé les blé blé brûlé brûlé les blé. Okay. Doit-on dire 16 sèches chaises ou bien 16 chaises sèches? 16 sèches chaises, 16 chaises sèches. Really, like I think you cannot hear the difference because even for me, like it's really close. Doit-on dire 16 sèches sèches ou bien 16 chaises sèches? And here, so it was like the sentence is difficult to say. And here, sentence is difficult to understand. Samedi, samedi, samedi. Samedi, samedi, samedi. Samedi, samedi, samedi. Cabulanolac. 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 Like, usually for those two sentences, you have to say them like real fast. Cabulanolac, cabulanolac. And here, si mes laitues naissent, vos laitues naîtront. Si mes laitues naissent, vos laitues naîtront. Si mes laitues naissent, vos laitues naîtront. So, that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you can still subscribe with the button down below and leave a comment in the comment section, and you can hit the like button. And if you want some more French videos and some resources on French learning, you can go on our website frenchpod101.com. You will find a lot of new contents that will help you improving your French. So that's all for today, and see you next time. Bye.